Good morning, class. In the previous lesson, we have learned about reproduction in plants. We have come to know this process that it is a process of producing new individuals from its parents. We have come to know about two types of reproduction. One, that is asexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, new plants are produced without the help of seeds. In sexual reproduction, new plants are produced from seeds. The best example would be budding in yeast. Asexual reproduction takes place by fragmentation and spore formation. Today, we are going to learn about them. So let us understand fragmentation, a type of asexual reproduction where an organism upon maturation breaks down into fragments and each fragment grows into a new organism. So this is a process where an organism upon maturation breaks down into fragments and each fragment grows into new organisms. Next is spore formation. Special spore-bearing organs are present in some plants, especially in fungi and algae. These are called sporangiophores. The sporangiophore, this is the sporangium, and this sporangiophore bears spores. The spores germinate to develop a new plant. A best example I would suggest would be the spores that we see on a fern plant. So this one that you see are plenty of one little, the whole thing are the spores. One little round one is known as sori. Alright, the spore formation. So once again, special spore-bearing organs are present in some plants, especially in fungi and algae. And we can give an example of ferns also. These are called sporangiophores. The sporangiophore bears spores. Those spores develop to germinate. It germinates, the spores germinates to develop into a new plant. This is an example of a fern bearing spores. Once again, in the previous lesson we had learned about fragmentation, and we have learned about asexual, and we have come to know that asexual reproduction also takes place by fragmentation and spore formation. So fragmentation means where organisms upon maturation breaks down into fragments and each fragment grows into new organisms. Spore-bearing. Special spore-bearing organs are present in some plants, especially in fungi and algae. These are called sporangiophores. The sporangiophores bear spores. Those spores germinate to develop a new plant. So this is what we are going to learn for today.